Good evening. I'm Miguel Gabriel. After I graduated in '08, I started building a full-time practice as a life coach, energy healer. And I was real, at the practicum, Mary encouraged me, if I was going to do EFT, to use forgiveness. And I was already doing it, but I focused on that more because everything you always told me seemed to be pretty close to right, so I went for it, right? So anyway, I've built a real, I think, real powerful practice using the tools of spiritual psychology as a base to identify core issues, bring them up, and the other tools as well, and then using EFT as a release, as an energy release, to release a lot of the frozen fear from PTSD mainly. So I'm specializing on working a lot with combat veterans and other folks as well. But a lot of the guys, especially the guys that are suicidal or have suicidal tendencies, I find it very difficult to get them to embrace self-forgiveness. And I know that's key. That's a main ingredient in healing, because from my own experience, 30 years of PTSD, that was one of the main things that I had the hardest time with. So I'm being pretty successful, but I have one guy in mind that he comes until he feels a little better, then he leaves again. I don't see him for 2 or 3 months, then he comes back. One time he called me from the VA hospital. He had been committed because he went on a binge and had a really hard time. So he came back, and I was really concentrating on doing something to keep him there, but he only came one time, and then I haven't seen him now for about a month. So my question is, what can you tell me, your words of wisdom, your opinions, obviously very valuable to me, of how I can inspire these guys, how I can empower them to embrace the concept of self-healing, of self-forgiveness?
No, first of all, for those who don't know, PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's very prevalent, especially in people who've been in war situations, and they, it's like I think they used to call it shell shock.
Yeah.
It's an interesting question in a way, because my honest answer is that there is a readiness factor
Right.
in consciousness, and he simply may not be ready.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm not going to force him or try to keep him there, but when he does come, I thought, what can I do to encourage him?
The best thing you can do is through the way you are with him. See, the way you are with him, if you're compassionate with him and you're understanding with him, and at the same time you do your best to utilize all the tools and skills that you know, and at the same time you must give him the dignity of his process. Okay. It's so important to accept him where he is, accept what his process is, and to be watchful within yourself to not go into over-responsibility.
That's the key.
Right.
To feel like somehow you should be able to do something that would change this for him.
So actually, since he has come, he's almost ready, but when he comes and stays, then he's ready, probably.
No, not necessarily. See, you'll know that he's ready when he's ready.
Yeah.
And if you try to push him at all, then you're not acting in a way that is really helping him.
Not empowering him, actually. But
well, it's not a question of empowering. See, from your perspective, it's been said that the first law of spirit, and our experience has been that this is accurate, is acceptance.
Right.
If people learn how to walk around in the world and accept, they will never have to enter into forgiveness, because they will never judge anything. So you have a subtle judgment going that he should be different from the way that he is. That's what Mary's trying to get you to take a look at.
Thank you.
And that's why when she used the word over-responsibility, I'd be willing to bet that this is not the first guy that you wished would move faster than what they're moving.
Probably true.
Probably true.
I wish I could heal all like that. But
well, but see,
I hear what you're saying.
But see, even that, I wouldn't have that wish. I wouldn't have that wish. I wouldn't wish for them to move any faster than they move, because I don't know in consciousness, in terms of the spiritual reality, I don't know what they're processing along the way. And if I got my wish and they moved too fast, they might skip over things that they really needed to work on,
Right.
and simply have to come back to do it again.
Got it.
So the recommendation here is to start with acceptance. Really make it okay for them to be exactly where they are, and not even wish that they would move faster than they're moving.
I know one thing to be really true about you, that you have a great heart.
Thank
And
you.
that you have a lot of compassion and caring. And I'm just here to give you a gentle reminder that ultimately the loving is the healing agent. And that the way you are and the energy that flows through you when you are with these men is the most important thing that you have to share with them. And my encouragement is for you to allow that to be enough, so that when you're in your when they're in your presence, you're present in your loving, and when they leave you, you let them go, recognizing that they have God inside them too. And ultimately, they will liberate themselves. They will wake up into who they are.
When you went through USM, did you ever feel that we were pushing you?
No. No, not really. I mean, I felt inspired, not really pushed.
There you go.
Yeah.
Inspire them.
Yeah.
Inspire them by your presence.
Yeah. That was and that's really what, because that was one of the first things you taught us. You can't fix anybody. You don't even,
That's
we
right.
don't want you to try. The healer doesn't heal. The healer empowers people to heal. I remember that from the very first weekend, I think.
Good.
So
Now all I have to do is practice it.
now I got to do it, right? Okay. But so just the same thing,
Yeah.
honor them, give them the dignity of working their own process. I just thought maybe there was some other more tools of wisdom to inspire them to.
No,
You know-
that's doing the very thing we're cautioning you against.
Yeah. Not to go there, just let
See,
them work the process.
Well, and the other thing, it's like, I don't know how you prepare yourself before your sessions, but I suspect you have some way of preparing yourself. You know, I just encourage you, because it's important to let go of the attachment to the outcome.
Right.
And it's also important to let go of the idea that you are the healer. This is hard for people who are drawn to this kind of work, because they usually have tremendous hearts, a great deal of love, and they really want to be of service somehow. But these other energetics can flow into it, the over-responsibility, the attachment to the idea that somehow I'm responsible for the healing. And the more you can let go of that, I think actually not only will you feel freer, but I suspect that you'll be witnessing magic, miracles,
Thank you.
grace.
Yes, I think being attached to the outcome is very key. That's what I have been doing. Thank you for pointing that out.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.